Hello, friends. Welcome to Imperial Late's online publess quiz this month with the special topic of food. This is the latest in our events series for adults exploring research here at Imperial College London. Of course, here is not Imperial College London. Here is my shed. My name is Steve Cross. Welcome. Hello. I just want to emphasize that the word adults in our events series for adults, it's not going to be like graphic or anything like that, but that we will be discussing the odd thing of an adult nature. We might use the odd adult word. We might talk about things like eating vegetables to have a healthy diet and stuff like that really isn't suitable for the ears of younger people who might be terribly offended by it. 1 week every month, the Imperial College Public Engagement team and all of the wonderful researchers associated with them explore a different theme, and this week is food. It's December. I'm wearing my hat. You've all started your advent calendars, so it's not too soon, which means that the lucky ones amongst you every day wake up to a tiny whiskey or a tiny gin, and the unlucky ones amongst you wake up to one of the chocolate advent calendars from Poundland, where the chocolate resembles more a novelty soap or a piece of plastic than a chocolate. I am your quizmaster today, which means my job is to ask not all the questions, but quite a few of the questions. We're going to have an incredibly intelligent researcher coming to ask the rest of the questions, and it's also my job to keep things to time, to keep you in line. And another thing that rhymes with both time and line. I know normally you'd be tuning in to see the incredible Maeve O'Sullivan, Maeve, the ultimate quiz boss of Imperial College. But unfortunately, it turns out Maeve is so good at quizzes and has become so popular that too many quiz fans have sent her advent calendars. She's currently unable to get to her computer due to the massive pile of deluxe Thornton's advent calendars sent to her by hungry and thirsty suitors all over Britain. And I mean, that's nice. When she's eaten her way out, she'll be back for the event in February. So this is how the quiz is going to work. We've got 4 rounds, count them, 4. And each round has a different theme, and you'll be answering questions yourselves in your teams that you've put together. You might be with a team now, you might be on your own. It's really important you have a team name, by the way, because that's how we're going to collect the scores in. You're going to mark your own scores for the first 3 rounds, and then in the 4th round there'll be a whole load of admin. It's a university thing. It can't exist without an online form. There'll be an online form that I'll tell you all about, where you'll be able to tell us your scores. We'll score your 4th round, we'll declare winners and things like that. But you can't have fun without rules. As every work Christmas do knows, think of all the people so glad that this year nobody's going to come and ask them to dance to terrible music or trap them in a corner to tell them boring stories. Work dues are all online, which means you can mute the entire IT department. Here are the rules for today's fun. Number 1. There's a chat in the YouTube where we want you to chat and say nice things. We want you to ask questions of our incredible researcher. What we don't want you to do is put correct answers to the chat. Correct answers to the quiz in the chat, because that ruins the quiz. It's not like a game show where you win a prize for being first. It's a pub quiz. Imagine being in a pub. You're there with a small glass of rosé like me, and you start calling out the right answers to the pub quiz questions. Somebody is going to come over and make short work of you, my friends. So no correct answers in the chat. If you put correct answers in the chat, we will bin you. Stupid answers in the chat, absolutely welcomed. No inappropriate or disruptive use of the chat. If you're not sure what would constitute inappropriate or disruptive use of the chat, don't use the chat at all. Stay well away from it. Do give us questions for our guest researcher, Katerina, who you're going to meet later. You will see Imperial College staff in the chat. They will be encouraging you to say interesting things. They'll asking you what you mean. They might give you warnings, which will be terribly exciting. That's the chat rules. Let's talk about the quiz rules. Number 1, no cheating. Partly because there's no point, right? There's no prizes. Cheating gets you nothing other than running up your broadband because you're Googling things. Broadband charges per Google, don't they? Is that how broadband works? I never know. I just paid the bill. It's always a random amount each month, so I think it's charging me for Google. Second one is don't quibble the questions. The people who have written these questions are world-leading experts in their field and freelance professional stand-up comedian in my case. And we like part of a quiz. You've got to know this if you've done a pub quiz. Part of a pub quiz is not just knowing the right answer. It's being able to anticipate what the person who set the question thinks is the right answer. So they're as much as psychological as they are an intellectual exercise. There's no half marks. Don't give yourselves half marks. Like, you got it wrong. Be honest with yourself. There's no bonus points. We will repeat questions as we go along. We won't stop at the end of a round and repeat questions that you ask us to, because we'll be here all night. And most importantly, I've said this before, but write a team name. Write yourself a team name, keep it the same, and keep track of your scores, because at the end of round 3, we're going to want to know your scores for the first 3 rounds and your team name. We need them. So let's have a quick check what else I've got to tell you. You got 2 minutes after each round, 2 minutes-ish. You got whatever I feel is 2 minutes. So like if I'm quite excited, you might get 90 seconds. But that's you might get 2.5 minutes if I'm feeling slow. The person who's asked us to turn on captions, the Imperial Public Engagement team, are trying to work out how to do this straight away. The quiz questions will be on the screen. And to be honest, I'm just burbling a load of nonsense, apart from no correct answers in the chat. If you do have any problems with the quiz, stay with us. If anything stops, we will reappear. You'll probably get a nice technical difficulty slide, and I won't like leave you behind, friends. I'll be back for you. And we're going to be joined later on by the wonderful Imperial researcher Katerina Petropoulou, and I'm going to tell you all about what Katerina does just before Katerina comes on screen. And you can ask Katerina any questions you like. Put them in the YouTube chat thread. They will be forwarded on to me, unless they're rude, in which case they will be forwarded directly to the MI5, who will use them to hunt you down. Did you know the I in MI5 stands for Imperial? Well, it does. So I think it's time to start quizzing, friends. Enough burbling, enough beating around the bush. It's time to be in the bush. It's time for round 1. Round 1 of our quiz is our general knowledge round. We're going to start you off with some everyday things about food. Now, Imperial team have told me that apparently you can turn on subtitles yourself. You click the CC icon at the bottom of a YouTube video, and a red line will appear under the icon when closed captions have been enabled. I don't know how good the captioning system will be at understanding my voice. I could switch to more of a Pathé News voice, make myself more comprehensible to the cat. I'm not going to do that. Round 1, general knowledge. Let's kick off, friends, with question 1. What type of orange is typically used to make marmalade? You can make bad marmalade using other oranges, but I made terrible marmalade with the wrong oranges once. It was a kind of like an unsatisfying jelly. But what type of orange is used to make marmalade? There's a word that usually goes with orange that is the type of orange used to make marmalade. Well, what is it? What is that word that goes with orange to make the kind of... They usually come out this time of year, actually. This is quite a topical question. It's getting into marmalade season. Let's crack on. Question 2. According to YouGov, the internet pollsters, what is the UK's favourite dish? What is the #1 UK favourite thing to eat? You will not be surprised at this. Everybody I tested this question on got it immediately. This is think the most obvious thing that it's going to be. Just think what your favorite food is, in fact. Although most people I know's favorite food is a bottle of Prosecco and 2 pizzas. That's what you really want for your birthday. Get rid of all this fancy food nonsense. Bottle of Prosecco and 2 pizzas, please. I won't finish the second pizza, but I'll get into it, and that's what matters. And it's my birthday. It's not my birthday now, obviously. It's Santa's birthday. That's what Christmas is all about. Let's move on to question 3. Definitely a question for Imperial Lates goers. This one. How many standard bottles of champagne are in a Magnum? And when I say a Magnum, I don't mean the ice lolly, which obviously has no standard bottles of champagne in. Although, if you have ever, and I've only done this once, eaten a Magnum whilst drinking from a Magnum, that is a very exciting thing to do and feels really hedonistic. I really recommend it. But how many standard bottles of champagne are in a Magnum of champagne? That was question 3. Because this is a university event, I'm trying to capture the university event experience. So I'm drinking room temperature white wine. Very, very cheap white wine. Let's move on to question 4. Now, if I was to draw you a diagram of a famous UK chocolate bar from top to bottom, which famous UK chocolate bar has these layers? Chocolate, caramel, nougat. They call it nougat. It's not got almonds in or anything. Chocolate, caramel, nougat, chocolate. Which one is that? If you cut through a UK chocolate bar, you'd see those things in that order. And it's a really famous one. Don't put like Sainsbury's Weirdo Bar or something. This is like a big name brand. You can buy it everywhere. Famous UK chocolate bar. Chocolate, caramel, nougat, chocolate. For instance, if this was a flake, it would read flake, 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 flake. Question 4. So that's question 4. Let's do question 5. Now, what was the surname of the person who invented the first commercially viable method for freezing peas? Now, I'm not anticipating that you know this one, but I am anticipating that if you write down the first surname that comes into your head when you hear the phrase commercially viable method for freezing peas, you will get this right. Even if you think that's stupid, that can't be it. Write down the first surname that comes to mind when you think of the person who invented the first commercially viable method for freezing peas. Why peas, Steve? Why not food more generally? You're going to see in round 2. Round 2 is peas round. Round 3 is also peas round. There we go. What was the surname of the person who invented the first commercially viable method for freezing peas? Question 6. Now here we go. Ooh, it's a bit messy, but we'll talk you through it. As we all know, the secret to good cookery is the right ratio. But which one of these ratios makes shortbread biscuits? Is it A, 5 parts flour to 3 parts water? Is it B, 1 egg to 100 grams of flour? Or is it C, 1 part sugar to 2 parts butter to 3 parts flour? Which one of those makes shortbread biscuits? Or, if I've typed them in wrong, which one is the closest to making shortbread biscuits? There's a real possibility that that has happened somewhere in here. I wonder which one of the 3 it is. It's a multiple choice question, A, B, or C. If you guess, you've got 33 1/3% chance of getting it right, which is a third in an Imperial College degree. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That was question 6. Amazing. Right, let's move on. Question 7. Which one of these famous stews does not include potatoes? This is a question that I've put in specially for our Northwestern quizzes. We sometimes get people complaining that the quiz is a bit London-centric. So this section of the quiz is just kind of Liverpool and West-centric. Which one of these doesn't include potatoes? Oh, no, I've got where Lancashire is wrong. Liverpool and North and West-centric. Which one of these doesn't include potatoes? Is it A, Irish stew, B, Lancashire hot pot, or C, Brunswick stew? Which of these does not include potatoes? If you've eaten one and you think it had a potato in, rule it out. It's not that one. Which one doesn't include potatoes? I mean, you can have potatoes with all of them, but 2 of them have got potatoes in. So you'd be probably doing too much too many carbs at once. I say that though. I did once have a baked potato and I stuffed it with chips instead of cheese, and it was delicious. Question 8, final one. What is spam short for? Now, I should tell you, lots and lots of different definitions are out there for spam, but there are only 2 things that spam is short for that the makers have ever said. So other people have made up things that it's short for, but there are 2 things that the makers, Hormel, have said spam is short for, and those are the only 2 we're accepting. So you've got a little bit of a moment now to think, a couple of minutes to think about your answers to question 1. We're just going to spend those moments together thinking about these. It was fun writing these questions. I had a great time just Googling fun facts and cutting chocolate bars in half. That was the best bit. I can write off 6 major UK chocolate bars against tax because who was putting correct? Did someone put correct answers in the chat? Where do they live? Find out. I'm going to come and get them. I'm going to come and get the correct answers in the chat, people. And see, I can't see the YouTube chat. I'm in a separate thing called StreamYard, and all I can see is the nicely sanitized Imperial College public engagement people. But don't take advantage of how nice the Imperial College public engagement team. They're very nice people. Don't take advantage of them because they could turn. Like Maeve O'Sullivan's very well connected. I'm just saying she could have people involved. And I'm leaving that language as vague as I can intentionally. Don't put any correct answers in the chat. Do you know, every time somebody puts a correct answer in the chat, an angel dies. And that is not very Christmassy. Don't. Yeah, the MI5 are going to get that. Anna, says if you put our correct answers in the chat, MI5 will come and get you because the M stands for and the I stands for Imperial, and the 5 stands for don't put correct answers in the chat. Don't put correct answers chat. There you go, the 5. Brilliant. Right. I think you've had enough time to sort out your answers. Let's just have a bit of a threatening heartbeat in case you're not quite ready. This is my threatening heartbeat noise. Like when you're playing a computer game and your character's nearly dead. And all you've got to do, like you've been shot 7 times, you just need to hide behind a bin for 3 seconds and you'll be fine. Let's do the answers to round 1. Remember, you are scoring your own answers and no half marks, no quibbling. I'll tell you what's an allowed version. Don't be like, oh, we can probably get away with. Not unless I say. Right, here we go. What type of oranges are used in marmalade? Seville oranges. You could have a clever Spanish spelling, Sevilla oranges, if you wanted to, but it's Seville oranges. You can now get them from Waitrose, but they're surprisingly expensive. It's cheaper to buy nice marmalade than to buy Seville oranges and make marmalade, unless you've got contacts in the Seville orange world. Question 2, according to YouGov, what is the most popular dish in the UK? It is obviously chips. Coming in at number 2 was fish and chips, but I really feel that chips was doing a lot of the work in hauling fish and chips all the way up that list. Question 3, how many standard bottles of champagne are in a Magnum? It's 2. I didn't use any of the more exotic Jeroboams or larger ones because I thought, some of us might have had a Magnum, but never had anything bigger than that. Which famous chocolate bar goes chocolate, caramel, nougat, chocolate? In the UK, that's a Mars bar. If it had peanuts in the caramel, that would have been a Snickers bar. If it had had a biscuit instead of nougat and been twice, that would have been a Twix. But this was a Mars bar, Now, the surname of the inventor of the first commercially successful method for freezing peas, if you guessed it, you're right. It's Birdseye. His name was Clarence Birdseye, all one word. No apostrophe in it, and that's how we ended up. He wasn't a captain, as far as I know. I don't know if he was given the honorary title later on, but yeah, Bird's Eye was invented by Clarence Birdseye. Question 6, which one of these makes a shortbread biscuit? It was C. I'll run you through what they make. 5 parts flour to 3 parts water is standard bread. 1 egg to 100 grams of flour is egg pasta. And 1 part sugar to 2 parts butter to 3 parts flour is a shortbread biscuit. They're very nice. I mean, it's better make them and then put something else on the top, because after you've eaten about 3 of these, you get a bit sick of them. So you need to kind of zhuzh them up a little bit. Which stew doesn't contain potatoes? It's Brunswick stew. Irish stew has potatoes in. Lancashire hot pot has potatoes on top. Now, question 8. This is the one that's going to upset some people, because some of you will have put something processed American meat, which is wrong. Hormel have never said that's what spam is short for. You can't just say other people's acronyms are for things you've made up. Like, you've got to respect that MI5 is for Imperial don't put answers in chat. That's just what it stands for. You can't just make your own stuff up. So the 2 answers that are allowed is spam is short for spiced ham, which was the original version. Although last year in their official marketing, Hormel said that spam is short for sizzle, pork, and which we will also allow. So it's spiced ham or sizzle pork and Mark yourselves out of 8. Make sure you've got your team name and your mark out of 8 written down. You are going to need them. I think this is enough of just listening to me. As wonderful and, handsome as I am, I think we need somebody else to come and join us. So we've invited on today, especially one of Imperial's very top nutrition researchers, somebody who's dedicated her life to finding ways to help people like you and me eat more healthy. She will have disapproved, I think, of quite a lot of the answers in round 1, notably chips, Mars bars, magnums of champagne, and my idea of just eating marmalade with a spoon out of the jar. And she's an incredible researcher. Her name is Katerina Petropoulou. She is about to appear next to me. Katerina, hello.
Hello.
I need to see myself a bit more. How's your day been so far?
Amazing. I couldn't wait for this pea pan quiz pub.
I should warn everybody. Katerina loves 2 things, right? She loves helping people have really good diets and nutrition. And the second thing she loves is puns that include the word pea. So they will come along. And the traditional way to laugh to puns is you laugh to one, and then you groan the next one, and then you laugh the next one, and then you groan the next one. And you get the sine wave of pun appreciation as you go from one to the next. Caroline says they got 7. Which is incredible out of 8, given how hard those were. So, Katerina, you've got some amazing questions for our people, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
And the questions all relate in some sort of clever tangential way to your own work. And you're going to explain that to us as we go along.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. So can I just give a little brief introduction about
I think we would love it.
My
It'll help.
Yeah, sorry, my PhD, so people can understand.
There's one, friends. There's the peepon. Katerina, tell us all about what you do.
Okay, great. So I am a nutritionist and I work at Imperial College London at the nutrition research section, and I completed my PhD a year ago, and this is the reason I'm here today. So during my PhD, I tried to understand how a natural mutation or a natural variation, let's call it, in wrinkle peas can affect glucose levels in the human body. So specifically, I looked at the food structural effects of these wrinkle peas that you cannot find in the market at the moment. And I compared them with their cousin, the smooth pea. And I made pea products like pea flour. We made, not me, everyone in my team. We made pea products, pea flour, pea-derived food products, and we asked our poor volunteers to consume all of these peas for like around 4 years. Every day, someone had to eat peas because I asked them to, and I feel great about it. Anyway, so so yeah, during my PhD, I fed people with like either the wrinkle peas or their cousin, the smooth pea, and I collected a series of like amazing samples from pea, urine to poo and blood, and yeah, that was it. So on this basis, on the basis of my project and the wrinkle peas, we designed these like pea pants publess quiz today. So if Steve is happy and he doesn't have any questions,
I've got one note quickly, which is that I'm going to be having a chat with Katerina after this round on your screens, not like in our houses. And what I want is, if you get any questions as we go along, if you think of questions for Katerina, bang them into the YouTube chat, and we will select some and we'll put them to her. And they can be questions about her work, questions about other things. Ask her, you know, who do you think will win the Champions League this year? Champions League, more like, and champions peak, more like, and she'll answer all of those questions for you. So Katerina, let's hear these amazing pea questions that you've got for our wonderful friends.
Okay, well, let's start with question one. Sorry. So who discovered genetic inheritance using the wrinkle peas? So just to help you, it wasn't me. It was someone else. Yeah, no, it wasn't you. It wasn't you, Steve.
But that's why they call me to peeve cross.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So yeah, I think this is a very easy question. On the basis of this discovery, we kind of rediscovered these peas and we use them to understand what's going on with these specific unique food structures. So I hope people will get this one because it's very easy. No? Maybe. We don't know.
They'll get it. Give them question 2, Katerina.
Amazing. So question 2, what is the Latin name of peas? So we have a few suggestions here. Is it Phaseolus vulgaris? I'm not quite sure if I pronounce it okay, but yeah.
I mean, Greek is basically Latin, so yeah, of course you're pronouncing it
maybe
right.
Latin, yeah. Okay. So glycine max, second, or Pisum sativum.
Glycine max is a brilliant species name, isn't it?
I like the Phaseolus vulgaris. It sounds so royal.
Oh yeah. But no, Glycine Max would be like my my ultimate fighting name. Into the ring, Glycine Max. I don't know why I'd be announcing myself. That would be weird.
Yeah, but imagine Phaseolus vulgaris walking down the aisle. It would be very nice.
Oh yeah, no. Physiolus vulgaris is the person in a swimming costume who has to hold up the sign for the rounds before my bouts. People are like, "Oh my god, they got Physiolus vulgaris! I never thought they would do this. They're so classy." Did you see them on the cover of Vogue last month? I did see them on the cover of Vogue last month. What's question 3, Katerina?
Amazing. So let's go to question 3. Question 3. What is the must pea product nickname geordie hummus? I think you can pronounce it better.
No, you did it brilliantly, Geordie hummus.
That's famous in the northeast of England.
Yeah. It's available from supermarkets all over the UK, but it's primarily like the people who are proud of it are in the northeast. If you can't find it in your supermarket, go to Morrison's, the supermarket that sells northern food all over the country.
Okay, we'll go.
Should we give them question 4?
Yeah, sure, let's go. So, which of the following it is not a type of pea? Sugar daddy, early perfection, or Katie? This is a difficult one.
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to get this straight away.
I hope people after this...
Their supermarket knowledge. I think there's a key supermarket bit of knowledge that will give you this immediately.
Okay. Basic supermarket knowledge.
I mean, after this quiz, do all go and have a look at all the names of varieties of pea, because they're absolutely hilarious. You can tell they were named by people who spend a lot of time farming and not a lot of time going out. Sorry, Katerina, what were you saying?
No, I was saying that this is the exciting thing about peas. They have amazing names.
No, the exciting things about peas is your research on peas.
No, I think it's the pea puns.
No, it's your research on peas. That's why you're here. Like, if they just wanted puns, they'd have me on. You're doing world-changing research that's going to change our lives. Should we give them the next question?
Yeah, I think this is a very hard question.
No.
Which McDonald's UK burger has the most fiber in it?
And just to clarify, quizzes, this is from the regular daytime menu that's available in nearly every McDonald's. It's not from the breakfast menu. It's not an exotic special offer. It's from the bog standard. You can basically get it anywhere McDonald's in the UK.
Should we talk about fiber?
You know all about fiber, don't you?
Yeah, fiber is good.
Am I getting enough fiber?
I don't know. How much do you get? You need to 30 grams a day.
I'm vegetarian, so I eat a lot of like tomatoes and cucumber and lettuce and celery and cabbage. And
okay, great. Do you eat broccoli?
Yeah, I love broccoli. Like my trick with broccoli, same as every brassica, is the more burned it is, the better it is. So I get like broccoli, I put it in a George Foreman grill, so it's getting heated from below and above until it's like slightly blackened, and then I blow torch it as well. Not till it's like charcoal, but just to blacken the edges. Put that on a plate, grind some salt, little bit of chili flakes on the top. Oh, broccoli. People are like, I don't like broccoli. I'm like, eat this. And they go, I love you.
To the broccoli?
No, to me. They know I can buy more broccoli, but broccoli can't get another one of me. But raw broccoli is disgusting and wrong. That's why you got to burn it. But literally, friends, cookery tip, any brassica, burn it. Cabbage, cut it in quarters, put it in a pan with slightly more butter than you think you should have. Fry it till the inside goes a bit black. Eat it. Just blow your face off. In a good way.
I like that. Just remember, we have to eat 30 grams per day, just for the rest of the audience, because you're doing great, but we need to make sure everyone's doing great. And in the UK currently, we eat something like 17 grams a day.
Ooh, Katerina.
Yeah, we need to do better, I think.
Is there something that our viewers can stuff down themselves to get over this? Because we know if we're short of vitamin C, suck a lemon. Short of potassium, eat a banana.
They can participate in the new trial we are currently running, and I can maybe talk about it later. But we basically, what we do is give people a dietary supplement, which is mainly fiber, to consume for 1 year. And by this chance, either if they can be in the control group or the intervention, they can increase their fiber intake, because for the control group, we give just 10 grams of inulin, which is a type of a compound you can find in many fruits and vegetables. And the intervention group, they can get 50 grams of fiber without the side effects.
Oh, friends, if you love pooping, sign up for Katerina.
No, you don't get the side effects. This is the amazing part of this compound we developed. And it's a dietary supplement. It's not something like bad that people can be scared of taking it.
No, I don't think I'm scared of it, but just there's nothing more satisfying than doing a great big solid poop. That's the best thing about fiber, is that even in lockdown, if you're not getting out, if you're not doing much, do a great big solid poop and you're like, I achieved something today. I made a difference. Let's do question 6.
So question 6. Okay, this is a good one. Roughly, how many peas does each person in the UK eat per year? A, 1,000, B, 4,000, C, 9,000.
And this quizzes, this isn't at once. This isn't median. This is a mean. This is total pea consumption. Good. Divided by the number of people. That's an exciting one, though. I don't think anyone's going to know this, but it's fun to think and have a guess. And there's no prizes, so it doesn't matter if you don't know it. It doesn't matter if you do know it. Should we do question 7 for these people?
This will know it, or they will aim to get to the right question, by eating the peas.
Oh, yeah. The other way to answer this question is to buy an infinite number of peas and see how many you can eat before you feel really sick. And that's probably the answer. Imperial College texting me to say, shut up, Steve, that's not safe. Sorry. Question 7, Katerina.
Okay, this is one that it makes me sad, but we have to do it. So, how many people have type 2 diabetes in the UK? 2.4 million, 4.8 million, or 9 million? So, yeah, we need to make sure that we eat a lot of fiber, a lot of starches that they are resistant to digestion, like the wrinkly peas, a lot of vegetables and fruits, so we don't get abnormal blood glucose levels, and therefore we don't get diabetes later on in life. So we really must do very well here and try and improve, our dietary habits.
And Katerina, when you started your research, were you thinking I want to work with peas, or were you specifically thinking about diabetes as a thing that was part of, where did you come from when you started?
So I'm a nutritionist by background, so I always had in mind helping people by either educating them, or I think there's lack of education, and that's why people cannot do the right decisions. The pea project, it was given to me. I joined a team, a lovely team, and they were all very nice and very supportive, and they helped me achieve all of these brilliant things, publishing the paper. Now I had the chance to visit the Houses of Commons. I don't think I've told you about that.
No, well, tell us more about that in this little gap. I just want to get question 8, and then we're going to chat about all the fun you had at the House of Commons.
Very too much fun. So question 8, 100 calories serving, calories not grams, of peas contain more protein than a whole egg. Is this true or false?
And we are assuming a medium egg here.
It's a medium small egg. Yeah,
it's a chicken egg. It's not a medium ostrich egg. It's not a medium quail egg. It's a medium chicken egg. What's usually known in the industry as an egg.
Nice one. But
well, just because this is a sciencey quiz, Katerina, sometimes we get terribly pedantic people in the chat. Well, a dinosaur egg? No, it's what's colloquially known as an egg. A medium, organic, free range, because this is the Imperial College quiz, egg.
I wanted people to focus on calories, though, and not on grams, because they might get confused.
Yes, very important, very important. I read a thing this week that said, actually, there's more protein in broccoli than steak per calorie. It's like, yeah, because to get as many calories of broccoli as I would from eating a steak, I have to eat an entire field of broccoli. By that point, I've got more protein just off the inside of my mouth, that has the cells that have rubbed off as I've eaten the broccoli. Katerina, which question do you think was the hardest?
Interesting one. I don't know. I think not the hardest, but a little bit confusing. Maybe question 6.
Oh, how many peas do people eat a year?
I don't know if anyone, ever counted how many peas they eat.
Yeah. It's like half a bag, quarter of a bag, 2 spoonfuls. I don't know. Maybe there are people who are on the kind of diet where they have to count the peas in and out.
Yeah, really?
Is it true that peas are usually children's favourite vegetables?
I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know.
I thought it's true because aren't they the most calorie dense of the common vegetables? So kids love them. Same with bananas, are the most calorie dense of the common fruits. So kids all love
Do they
bananas.
like broccoli as well? Broccoli.
Like my children really elegantly, whatever the meal is, they find the broccoli in it and they really elegantly just move it out. Anything green, they just move. So what you have to do is make the whole dish like colored in order to disguise the pieces of vegetable. If it's a vegetable that they can't tell, like you can cook things so that they look like they might be onions or cheese, both of which they'll eat. So you just hide. Like I did parsnips, that absolutely destroyed them. They had no idea what that was, and they ate parsnips because they just like, these must be weird chips. Ah, you ate parsnips, suckers. Now let's give people a little moment to sort out their answers to this round before you're going to reveal all the answers to them, aren't you, Katerina? But let's give them the threatening heartbeat noise, as if their character has just. I've been playing a game based in J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings world, and it's very exciting. The main thing I learned is that lots of orcs have Cockney accents. There's a few Australians now, which is very exciting. Anyway, right, let's give them the heartbeat noise.
I like that.
I feel like the Casualty theme music should play.
This is good. I like it.
Now, Katerina, should we give these lovely people the answers to your round? Friends, I'm just showing off my t-shirt, by the way, which has my name on, and it says underneath my name, it says forward thinking. I didn't make this t-shirt. This is a commercially available t-shirt you can buy on the high street. I was like, yes, that's my branding. Katerina, let's run them through the answers.
Okay, great. Sorry?
You've got them in front of you, haven't you?
I do have them in front of me. Okay, so let's start with question 1. Who discovered genetic inheritance using wrinkly peas? So, are we going to have drums? No.
I've got these drums for if you do a really bad pea pun.
Okay. Okay, then it's Gregor Mendel.
Well done, everybody with GCSE biology who got that one.
Great. So Gregor Mendel was a monk, and he discovered these peas in 1860s, and he actually kind of accidentally, discovered them. So he used a wrinkled pea and a green smooth pea, and he matched them, and therefore he described how we get the genetic characteristics from our ancestors. So in 1990s, at Johnings Center, they rediscovered these peas, and the wrinkled ones, and they understood why they were different. And then in 2020, I published a paper with the wrinkled peas, and the whole team of ours, we discovered that these wrinkled peas and pea products, pea flour, which is very important, they have a positive impact on your blood glucose, improving your health if you eat them long term. And yeah, the rest is history.
Amazing. Right, let's do question 2.
Great. So the Latin name for peas is Pisum sativum or sativum. I don't know.
Well, if you say Pisum sativum, they sound like they belong to me, which I quite like.
Okay, this is it then. So yeah, I don't have anything to say here. I don't know who.
Tell them what the other two are. Phaseolus vulgaris is the common bean.
Yeah.
And glycine max, Katerina, do you know that one?
You know it better, I think, because
it's a soybean. The soybean is a glycine max. Yeah, glycine max. Remember that next time you're sitting down to some edamame. People are like edamame, and you go, "I think you mean glycine max." What's the answer to question 3, Katerina?
Okay, that's your favorite, I think.
Yeah.
The answer to what is the mushed pea product nicknamed geordie hummus? I don't know how to do this pronunciation.
It's geordie hummus.
Geordie hummus. Geordie. Okay.
Like, we're going to mispronounce hummus more than we mispronounce. Well, I am.
Okay, yeah, cool. That's famous in the northeast of England. It's peas pudding.
Yeah, never eat it, friends. If you've not had it, don't have it. Have hummus instead. As it's no non-geordie hummus. That's really nice. Peas pudding is gross. It's like mushy peas, but taken to the nth degree. If you leave it exposed to air for 10 seconds, it goes grey. It's not for human consumption. Peas pudding is my favorite, says an obvious bot labeled Ian Scasebrook. You can tell from his stock photo face. Look at that. He's definitely not a real person. Had it on Tuesday. Question 4. Let's do question 4, Katerina.
Okay, let's do question 4, which is not a type of a pea. The question is Katie.
Yeah, Katie's a type of apple. As anyone who's bought any sort of cider knows, you can buy Katie cider. I like the other ones. Sugar Daddy, I quite like because it's a good description of me. And Early Perfection, another good description of me.
What did you have for dinner, Sugar Daddy?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's basically describes dinner time in my house. My kids are Early Perfection, and their Sugar Daddy made them ice cream. I didn't give them ice cream today. In your honor, we gave them baked potato with the skin. And they ate all the skin.
Ice cream.
No, I didn't give them ice cream today, just for you. I made them eat the skin of their potatoes, though. Let's move on. Question 5.
Question 5. I think this is your favorite. Which McDonald's UK burger has the most fiber in it? It's Veggie Deluxe.
It's the Veggie Deluxe. Yeah, I did so much research for this. The McDonald's product that has the most fiber per gram is if you ask for extra nuts on your ice cream.
Do the rest of the McDonald's products have fiber in it?
Not a lot. Like the veggie dippers are pretty good. They're just below this. It's like Veggie Deluxe burger, then veggie dippers, then chips, and then everything else. But yeah, per gram, the most high fiber food is to ask for extra nuts on your ice cream. The extra nuts contain the most fiber of anything in the entire menu. Gary Frost there, peas pudding is the food of the gods. Yes, specifically the gods of death and pestilence. Let's move on. Question 6, Katerina.
Gary is my boss. I shall behave.
Yeah, you will. I won't. He's not my boss. I don't have a boss. My only boss is my kid.
Great. Okay. Roughly, how many peas does each person in the UK eat per year? Have a guess.
Well, I can't because I've literally got the right answers in front of me, same as you. Like my guess, either I'm just being contrived and weird, or I get it right and ruin the suspense. They want to hear you take the answers, Katerina, not me.
Okay, great. So it's 9,000.
9,000, yeah. Yeah, apart from people who eat peas pudding, who eat like 12, and then they feel really ill and they have to sit down and eat no more peas for the rest of the year. Let's do question 7. Because this one really lines up with your research. Wait, so of these 9,000 peas, let's rewind. Of these 9,000 peas, how many do you think realistically you can replace with wrinkly peas to make us all healthier in the future?
All of them.
So, I mean, I get you're going to replace pea flour and mushy peas and all those sorts of things. And peas pudding will just replace with, when you open the can, a bit of paper falls out that says, don't eat this. But like whole peas that I have with my dinner, are you going to replace them with wrinkly? A wrinkly pea is nice to just have a little bit of butter on top. Yum, yum, yum.
I think it's not about like me replacing. It's going to be an alternative option for anyone, you know, who is a little bit more conscious about their health. So if these go ahead and they can, you know, we will produce them and they go into the market. But I think that behind the whole project, this is a very nice part of the project to optimize the health benefits of these natural variations of products. And identify other kind of, you know, maybe in the future people can look for other type of variations with natural like characteristics that they make them have more fiber. We should make all of our fruits and vegetables wrinkled because wrinkles are not bad.
You're going to make wrinkly carrots?
Wrinkly carrots, wrinkly tomatoes.
Wait, is Savoy cabbage already wrinkly enough, or do you want to make Cavolo Nero and Savoy cabbage even
the more wrinkles they have, the better. Let's make everything wrinkled. Wrinkles are not bad. Okay,
good. Rice and peas, correct. The person saying rice and peas part of a delicious dinner. Rice and peas are absolutely delicious. We will be trying to get wrinkled peas in there as well to help up the nutritional value there. Good to see people speaking out on behalf of nice food instead of gross geordie hummus. Katerina, now, where are we up to? Oh, question 7, the diabetes question.
Great. Okay. So currently in the UK, 4.8 million people have diabetes. And this is a very alarming, state. The rates are increasing. we have to act. We need to do something. And because people have been advised to eat less and exercise more, they don't do it. We need to intervene and, create more options for commonly consumed foods that they can, provide these health benefits. And people, sometimes it's a little bit biased when you tell someone, oh, you have to eat this because it's good for your health. They might not do it. But if you just have it there as an option, I think this might work better. I don't know.
Sorry, I was just doing, somebody asked us not to just say A, B, or C. So the answer here is 4.8 million.
Which answer? The 7.
That was question 7, yeah, 4.8.
Yeah, it's B.
Yeah, B, 4.8 million. But we got to say 4.8 million because some of them will have written down 4.8 million instead of B. And that's great. So good. There's things we can do to help. But also, if you're a younger person thinking about what career to follow, nutritionist. It's pretty good living to be had there. Question 8, Katerina, tell us.
Question
We're
8.
here poised with 100 calories of peas in one hand and an egg in the other, all of us. We're like, what do I...
100 calories serving of peas contains more protein than a whole egg. This is true.
Well played, peas.
Thank you ever so much.
Do your wrinkly peas have more protein in than normal peas as well? Or is it just the starch and fiber that's different?
They do. So dry weight, 100 grams dry weight wrinkle peas, they do have something like 23 grams of protein. And it's not that they have more resistant starches, is when you cook them, they increase this amount, which is another effect you get.
Got it. So we shouldn't be eating whole dried wrinkle peas without cooking them into something.
We need to cook them so they increase even more in resistant starches, and then we get all of these amazing benefits.
Amazing. So teams, you've had all the answers now. Remember, score yourselves out of 8 for that one. Keep that score written down with your team name. And I've got a few questions that I'd like to ask you, Katerina. We'll start with the question that you predicted somebody would ask, and we're going to ask it. Where did you get your clock?
Amazing. Okay. So I took advantage of Rainer. I brought it from Greece. It was in my room in Greece. I really liked it and I wanted to have it here. My partner thinks I'm crazy, but I just brought it. Yeah. So it was from a Greek shop.
That's the answer. Greece. If you want a clock like that, go over to Greece when you're allowed. I don't know if you're allowed at the minute. You might have to quarantine. And just go in every shop until you find the one that sells it. I mean, don't go in like a butcher's or something. They're unlikely to have it. You've got to prioritize your time going to clock shops. Let's do some simple ones. From Anna SJ, can we buy wrinkled peas now? How can we buy them? Where can we buy them?
So we cannot buy... Everyone wants wrinkled peas. We cannot buy wrinkled peas now, but they will be in the market very soon, we hope. It was not a crop that it was produced by farmers. So we're in the next step of my PhD is to try and do this. And
I think if you follow Imperial College, I'm sure that this has been such a great success story for the university, the work that Katerina has been doing. I'm sure that once they're commercially available, there will be a lot of press releases and website coverage and tweets about it. So keep your eye on Imperial. Now, this is a very big question that I think all of us have been asking, Katerina, but the person who asked it is called AVDFI 1961. Aston Villa, don't flip it. 1961. Do wrinkly peas taste different from smooth peas?
Amazing. This is the $1 million whatever question. No, they actually taste better. So because of their mutation, this is fantastic. I don't know, everything with these...
Healthier food that tastes better? This is impossible, Katerina. You're blowing my mind.
So they do taste better than the smooth peas. They are a little bit sweeter.
Whoa, I like that. Steve would like it a sweetie pea. Right, let's do some more questions. Some of these I'm not going to ask because they're very silly, but I am going to ask this one. Where did you get your wrinkled peas? Where in the world did they come from?
So the wrinkled peas, they are in John Innes Center. Right. This is an institute that does plant research. So this project, this idea was formed by Gary Frost, and two other professors from John Innes Center and the Codrum Institute. So
was that the Gary Frost from earlier who likes peas pudding?
He likes peas pudding.
And that's your boss. I worry about your career. I think you might need a more sensible mentor than this peas pudding fan. But where did they get them? Is these wrinkled peas, right? You told me they're not genetically modified, are they? They're like a natural mutation. But where did they grow? Where did somebody wander along and go?
So Gregor Mendel used them, and then no one kind of like used them since then. And they exist in John Innes Center seed banks.
Oh, right. Okay. So they were put away for years.
So we specifically produced them for the project. So we produced 150 kilograms, I think, yeah, for all of the trials we ran at Imperial. And we also, whatever we did at Imperial, so all of our participants, they consumed the peas, and we followed the pea along the human body. So we did a series of experiments. These experiments were also performed at Codrum, where they use simulated digestion systems, and they mimic the exact same procedure. And it was quite interesting because the results we've seen, we've seen them, we were able to translate them into humans.
And is a simulated digestion system like a plastic tube to simulate a gut into a pot full of hydrochloric acid and mucus and
something like that? You're very knowledgeable. Are you a scientist?
No, I'm literally just guessing what those words might mean to me. And I love the idea that somebody's had to set all of that up. Are we simulating the ileum, Dave? How are we simulating just get a hose pipe and stand on it loads of times? All right, we'll just do a standing on it hose pipe for the ileum. Do you think that's good enough? What about the appendix? Oh, I've just left a biro next to it. Right, that'll do as the appendix. Amazing. Right, I've got one very serious nutrition question for you, which is from Julie Etheridge, who says, if you've got things like peas or other vegetables and you like cook them until they're basically soup. I had lentil and garlic soup for dinner, and it was very delicious, let me tell you. How much of the like good nutrition is left as opposed to kind of very raw or very gently cooked vegetables? I think Julie heard about me burning broccoli until it's almost charcoal. And
yeah, I think you scared people. Okay, so like we have to say here that we like food, we have to enjoy food, and we don't need to go to the other side, of like eating everything like raw. The less processing we do in a food product, the better it will be for our body, and the slower the digestion will be, because the food product remains some of the food structure properties. So imagine when you eat something, there are enzymes from the mouth to like the colon that they break down this food. So the quicker they do, the higher the release in your blood glucose. And if you imagine the body being a machine, if your blood glucose goes up and down, up and down, up and down, eventually one day you will end up probably having a nutrition related, disease. So the more we take care of our like body, this kind of machinery, the better. So it will be better if we eat something in the intact form rather than, like cook it to the extent that the whole food structure has been broken down. But again, we need to enjoy food, and we have to, it's nice to eat nice food. So yeah. I wouldn't advise people to just, start eating raw food.
Brilliant. Okay, Katerina, you've done brilliantly at this. Sorry,
I wanted to say one thing that because I forgot, and it's important. We made all of these different pea products: pea hummus, mossy peas, pea flour, which was very important, and we also made pea biscuits. So the pea biscuits was the highlight of my PhD, because people loved them, and they were not sweet. They had a savory taste. But the idea of it was just, something very, very cute and very nice. So this is another option we are going to look in the future.
Brilliant. I did recently buy accidentally pea milk. It was not good, mainly because they'd had to put so much sugar in it to cover the taste of the peas. Wrinkly, pea milk, yeah.
Okay, this is another thing we are trying to do. So with the flour, because it has the taste of the pea flour, we are trying to see, it's very easy, to take off the gene that gives the flour, the pea taste. So this is another option, but we need to be conscious of people, they might have allergies. They know what they consume.
Yeah. The biscuits, are you going to call them rich pea biscuits as a pun on rich tea?
No.
Okay, good. Peace biscuits, pun on Nice biscuits. Are they going to be? No, I'm going to stop.
We're going to call them biscuits.
Biscuits, of course. Amazing. Katerina, you've been absolutely marvelous. There's lots of people asking for recipes, but I'm going to get you back at the end to talk about your trial and how people can get involved. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
Even though,
propionate ester, sorry, if they want to type it and Google it.
How do you buy pea milk by accident, Gary? I joined one of these luxurious, they send you a box of exciting random food every month clubs, and they sent it to me, and that was the only delivery I ever got from them. I cancelled it immediately on the grounds that no human should expect another human to pay for pea milk made of smooth peas, the lowest peas of all. Even though you're in your houses, can you give a massive round of applause to our guest researcher, Katerina Petropoulou? She's brought peas. I have not brought peas. I've brought bourbon, which is partly made of corn, which is big round of applause for Katerina, please. Katerina, we'll see you again after round 4, but we've got to crack on and give these people some more questions. Right, friends, let's do round 3 now that you're full of knowledge. And round 3 is what I call the recovery round, because anyone who was like, round 2 was a bit sciencey. I didn't get much of the science stuff. Good news. This is all popular culture questions. But to keep with the P theme, every single answer in this round contains the sound P. It might not have the letters PEA. It might have PY or PEE, but every single answer contains the sound P. Let's get cracking. Question 1. In Peanuts, what is Charlie Brown's dog's name? What's Charlie Brown's dog's name? In Peanuts, which already has a P in it. Peas out. Yeah, peas out, Katerina. What is Charlie Brown's dog's name? It contains the sound P. Let's move on. Question 2. Which song by the band Underworld is featured in the movie Trainspotting? And it contains the sound P. Don't forget, it contains the sound P. Which Underworld song features in the movie Trainspotting? Some of you won't remember Trainspotting, but you might remember Trainspotting 2, which is just a film to watch and think, yes, I am old. I do have regrets. And you're watching it and you're like, Ewan McGregor's not got any regrets. He's in 3 Star Warses. He's doing great. He's got a motorbike. Question 3. Which swimwear company was founded in Sydney, Australia in 1914, but is now based in Nottingham? It contains the sound P. Basically, if you can only think of one swimwear company, it's probably the answer to this question. It's not a really obscure swimwear company you've never, ever heard of. It's one that you very much associate with Australia, but weirdly, it's now based in Nottingham due to some international chicanery. Which swimwear company was founded in Sydney, Australia in 1914, but is now based in Nottingham? That's Nottingham, England, not Nottingham, New South Wales. How many swimwear companies does anyone know? I only know one, and that's where this question came from. Let's move on. Question 4. Who's missing from this list? Sneezy, Bashful, Sleepy, Happy, Grumpy, and Doc, and it has got a P in. Which one with a P in their name is missing from Sneezy, Bashful, Sleepy, Happy, Grumpy, and Doc? Doc, of course, the Imperial College-based character in this list, with them having a PhD and all. The rest sound like people that they were conducting nutrition experiments on. Who's missing from that list, though? Who's missing from that list? Let's move on. Question 5. What's the clever word, like the sciencey word, like the Stephen Fry showing off word for turning into a werewolf? What's the clever word? The Stephen Fry word, the posh word for turning into it's not werewolf P, is it? No, that's just a horrible noise that I made of syllables put together, but it contains the sound P. But what's the clever word for turning into a werewolf? Holly's asking, can we do a bonus point for the best random peepon posted in the chat? No, but you don't get points. You just get praise and the adulation of anyone there. And I will quite happily read out any that are posted in my special secret staff chat. What's the clever word for turning into a werewolf? Let's move to question 6. In George Orwell's book 1984, what was the name of the condensed form of language which the government hoped would replace English? And it contains the sound P. You might have heard this phrase used in a lot of other contexts, but what was the name of the condensed form of language? It would have things like, instead of saying brilliant, you would say double plus good, which actually takes longer to say than brilliant, but still. What was the name of the condensed form of language used in George Orwell's 1984? Question 7, please. What is the common name for the currencies used in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and many other countries? All of these countries call their currency the same thing, but they are different currencies. There is an Indian one, a Pakistani one, a Sri Lankan one, and so on. But what's the common name for all of these currencies? There's a whole load of other countries. I didn't list them all, I'm afraid. I thought you would get it from these 3. I mean, to be honest, if you're going to get it, you're going to get it from the first one. What is the common name for the currencies used in all of these places? And again, it contains the sound P. It might be PA, it might be PE, it might be PY. I don't think I've got any PI ones in here, have I? No, because I thought that was a bit difficult. So yeah, what's the common name for the currencies used in these countries? And then let's do question 8. Now, this is a bit sciencey one, so I'm going to explain it. So, what scientific term describes increasing chaos from which no useful work can be extracted? The universe is always increasing the amount of it. In any closed system, the amount of this thing that includes the sound P can never go down, and you can't make it do anything useful. It's a type of arrangement of stuff from which you can get no useful work. It's like a kind of energy you can't use. It's randomness. It's chaos. The universe will eventually be entirely full of just this. The heat death of the universe is when there is everything is this. But what is it? What is this science word that has the sound P in it? It's a difficult one to think about. This is really in there to separate the gold teams from the bronze team, the wrinkled peas from the smooth peas. We're really separating with this question. I promise this is the hardest question of the whole quiz. It's basically just so we know who's won. Right, friends, you've got a couple of moments to finalize your answers to round 3. I hope that they haven't caused any huge rows amongst your teams. I always think the quintessential quiz experience for me is knowing the right answer and the rest of your team shouting you down. And you have to put the wrong answer on the bit of paper and you hate everyone. When I do live quizzes, I bring little bags of sweets just to give out to those people because I think it's so special, that moment of this is what it is to be a quizzer. To be right, to be shouted down, to write the wrong thing down, and we don't get the point. It's just all of human existence in a moment together. It's just so beautiful. Let me play my heartbeat noise to increase the pressure. Let's get those answers done. Let's get those answers done. By the way, this was the noise for if Katerina did a really bad pee pun. That was the Wilhelm scream. Film fans. Right, let's do the answers. What is Charlie Brown's dog's name? It's Snoopy. 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 You might have heard of Snoopy from such things as billions of dollars of merchandise every year. Snoopy. Question 2. Which Underworld song featured in the movie Trainspotting is the one that goes lager, lager, lager? It is Born Slippy. Born Slippy. P, see? They've all got P in. Question 3, which swimwear company, blah, 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 blah. It's Speedo. Yeah, the P sound there in Speedo. Like, you got to be careful how you write it out, but Speedo, Speedo. Question 4, who's missing from the list? Sneezy, Bashful, Sleepy, Happy, Grumpy, and Doc. It's Dopey, Dopey. Dopey's missing from that list, probably having a sleep, but that's more of Sleepy's thing. So is Dopey just a bit thick? That's a bit harsh to call somebody that. The rest, at least, it's, you know, something kind of neutral about them. Question 5, the clever word for turning into a werewolf is lycanthropy. I'm very proud of that one. I only learned that word by accident during a particularly nerdy period of my teens of opening a dictionary at random and looking at words. Lycanthropy. Question 6. The name of the condensed form of language used in 1984 is Newspeak, or Newspeak, as Katerina would say it. A Newspeak. Give yourself a point for that. This round was biased towards old people like me. It was, yeah. It's also biased towards clever people. Fluffy Pumpkin, don't feel bad. Question 7. What is the common name for the currencies used in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and many other countries? They are all called the rupee. Rupee. Katerina's drag name, of course, rupee. Question 8. What scientific measurement? Blah, blah, lots of science words, blah. Entropy. It's entropy. Entropy. I'm very proud with that whole question. So let us know how you're doing in the chat thread. And we're also about to post the link where you can tell us how you've done in rounds 1, 2, and 3. I can't see the YouTube chat, so I'm assuming that's happening through the incredible skills of the technical department of the Imperial Public Engagement team. In their honor, I've written Imperial Lates behind me, and it's very exciting, everything that's happening. So remember, you've got these forms now. You've got to put in your scores for rounds 1, 2, and 3, and then also put your team name. Here we go. And somebody off the team will tell me when enough of you have done this that I move on to round 4. Because round 4, it's going to be marked automatically. It's a quick fire, multiple choice, no messing. It's a no messing round, importantly. Like, no messing. If we were like, don't put correct answers in the chat before, now we're like, do not put correct answers in the chat. That was as hard as I can sound, which is admittedly not very hard, given that I sound like little Lord Fauntleroy the rest of the time. The first time I heard my voice recorded, I was like, who is that? I'm going to beat them up. So let's get all of those posted ready, and we'll find out how everyone's doing. You won't, but I mean the Imperial team will, behind the scenes, looking at all those numbers, looking at how many of you understood entropy. Those of you who got both entropy and lycanthropy, you're probably automatically qualified for a university course at Imperial. Your offer will be in the post tomorrow. All you have to get is a couple of A's in whatever it is you're doing. Desperately thinking for GCSP jokes. Good. Have we all got those in, Imperial team? When do you want me to start round 4? Steve, crack on with round 4, it says, when you're ready. I was born ready. I mean, I wasn't. The only thing I was born ready to do was have a poop and drink milk like every other baby. Round 4. Each question will only be read once. Each question will move very quickly. Each question only has 2 possible answers. You've just got to choose. You might need to appoint a team captain to sort out any messes. So we're going to continue with the theme of this quiz, which has been a journey around Britain to find out about different pea cultures. And we're going to start with question 1 now. In the Midlands, specifically Nottinghamshire and Lincolnshire, what sauce is served with mushy peas? Is it mint sauce or brown sauce? If you don't know this one, see what else you know about what's commonly served with peas. See if you can work it out. What sauce is served with mushy peas, mint sauce or brown sauce? I'm from Nottingham. I assumed that this was eaten with mushy peas everywhere. I don't eat mushy peas, though, so it's never been a problem for me that it's not. Because mushy peas, too close to peas pudding for me. Give me a nice pea something else. Pea soup, I'll eat that. Even if it's made with mushy peas, ironically. Question 2. What is a British Mars bar called in the USA? Is it called a Mars bar or is it called a Milky Way? This question is really, do you think this is a trick question? Yes or no? Which one is it? Is it Mars or a Milky Way? What is a British Mars bar called in the USA? America, very different culture. But Mars, isn't that an American company? So wouldn't it be, but would it not be? Why would Steve have put this in? Question 3. Which motorway had a bridge, technically a viaduct, that said, give peas a chance? And that was there for 20 years. Was it the M62 or the M25? 62 or M25? Difficult one. Southerners will get this straight away. Question 4. What does the French phrase mange tout mean? Is it eat all or is it flat peas? I'm assuming many of you have seen a mange tout. It is a flat pea that you eat all of. But does the phrase mange tout mean flat peas or eat all? It's a flat pea pod, pedants. Don't know. Got to answer quick. Question 5. How many B vitamins are there? 8 or 12? It's like the Milky Way, with the Mars bar Milky Way question. Is it a trick question or not a trick question? What's he doing? What's he playing at? Does Steve think he's clever, or does he know he's not? Question 6. Which country is the world's largest producer of peas for freezing? They're all smooth peas for now, but Katerina's going to change that. Look forward to wrinkly peas in your diet coming soon. What will you have, sir? I'll have Britain's most popular dish, chips, but I'll have fish and wrinkly mushy peas with it, please. Thank you so much. And 2 slices of bread with butter on and a cup of tea. Thank you. Your question about motorways doesn't have the correct solutions. Yeah, it does. One of them's right. Unless it's written on more bridges in more places. Yeah, Holly says it does. Fluffy Pumpkin. Remember, we said at the beginning, don't quibble questions. It's as much about understanding the mind of me as it is about knowing the right answers. Question 7. Which of these is another name for glucose? Is it maltose or dextrose? The weird thing is, if you read the ingredients of a product, quite often it contains glucose and maltose and dextrose. Despite 2 of them being the same thing. Typical one. Question 8. Which of these do you have more of in your body by numbers, not by mass? Human cells or bacterial cells? Which one do you have more of? Which one is it? Well, you've not got long to finish these off. Let's get these in nice and quick. Nice and quick. The production team will tell me at what point they've stopped taking answers. It's going to be very, very, very soon. So you need to get those in very, very fast. And as soon as they stop taking the answers, I will tell you all the correct answers to round 4, and we'll find out who's won. There's just a little bit of technical stuff going on in the background as they sort out the auto marking system. For those of you who are wondering what I've been drinking during this, it might make an ideal Christmas present for one of your friends. It's Jim Beam Black. It's the cheapest bourbon you can buy that they've probably not seen in every corner shop that they've ever been in their lives. So they'll think, oh, that's posh, but it's actually really cheap. It's barely more expensive than the stuff from the corner shop. So I recommend it. You can buy it from anywhere that sells booze. And yes, I am filling while they sort out the auto marking system. Imperial friends, can I stop taking answers now? Can I read the answers out to this round? Like those of you out in the world, you can't see that. Yes, I can. Right, good. Let's do the answers to this. Question 1. In the Midlands and Lincolnshire, we eat mushy peas with mint sauce. It's delicious. You should try it. In Nottingham, it's normally known as Goose Fair peas, after the ancient but still continuing fair that you can go to in central Nottingham. I once went on a ride where the safety interlocks failed 4 times, and they kept us on it, going round and round and round. And I'm not saying that science is a bad idea, but the round was called evolution. Never going on that again. Goose Fair, brilliant place to get your pocket picked. If you've got stuff you want to get rid of, just put it in your pockets. Go to Goose Fair in Nottingham. And question 2, a British Mars bar in the USA is called a Milky Way. A Milky Way is called a Three Musketeers. And we don't have anything called the Three Musketeers in this country. We've got we've got D'Artagnan and what they called the Three Muskehounds. We've got them, but we don't have a Three Musketeers bar. So be careful when you're buying chocolate in America. Also, be careful buying chocolate in America, because a lot of American chocolate is awful and only suitable for being put in advent calendars for people who you don't like. Which motorway has a bridge that says "Give peas a chance"? It's the M25. It was near Gerrard's Cross. It's been painted over now. Doesn't say that anymore. It says something else, not as good and not as funny. Question 4. The French phrase mange tout, of course, means eat all. Flat peas was just a phrase that I made up myself and put in here. Question 5. How many B vitamins are there? There's 8. I don't know why they go up to 12. I assume there were some other ones that people put in. And then later on, they were like, it's not actually a vitamin, mate. It's actually the same as, you've put B9 here. It's the same as B2. It's literally exactly the same compound. It can't We can't have both. We'll be in a question 7 territory then if we just have 2 names for the same. Got to get rid of. There's 8 B vitamins, and they're all very good. And I'm sure Katerina would have lots of information for you on how much of each one you should have. But she'll come back. Maybe she'll give us that information. Which country is the world's largest producer of peas for freezing? It's the UK, the humble UK, described by Gav Williamson as just a better country than anywhere else. He was, of course, describing a vaccine developed by Turkish immigrants and a German pharmaceuticals company at the time. The Imperial College's position is that Gavin Williamson is a perfectly adequate Secretary of State for Education. Mine isn't, but that's Imperial College's position. Question 7. Which of these is another name for glucose? It's dextrose. If you were a super sciencey person, you could say that there was actually another form of glucose that can be chemically produced, which isn't dextrose. But in that case, it would be like, you're not really doing the food stuff then, are you? This is a food quiz. We're talking about, you're doing the weird chemistry, pedantry thing. So don't go into that. So yeah, my favorite thing is looking at the ingredients of dirty food that I'm eating and noticing that it lists the ingredients as sugar, glucose syrup, dextrose powder. And you're like, wait a second. Those 3 are the same. Fructose enriched corn syrup. It's like, that's 4 of the same. That's just 4 lots of sugar. You could have just put sugar. It's nearly all sugar. Don't eat it. In fact, the ingredients should just say, Steve, don't eat this. Don't eat this product. It's not right. But it's nearly Christmas, where I'm going to eat a lot of this sort of stuff. I do realize, as we've gone back through this quiz, I'll do the last answer in a second. But as we go through this quiz, I realize I've put in a lot of very unhealthy food questions. There were more healthy food questions in the initial run through, but we did some testing and people just don't know as much about like the composition of vegetable things as they do about Mars bars, McDonald's menus, mushy peas, that sort of thing. It turns out most of the people that we tested it with have very, very poor dietary habits. So just to let the Imperial team know, if we could get Katerina ready to come back and tell us all about her trial, that would be really good just before we reveal the winners. Hello, Katerina. Katerina, I've just got to do the answer to the final question, and then we're going to talk about your trial. Question 8, the final question. Which do you have more of in your body, human cells or bacterial cells? It's bacterial cells, but there's less of them. No, they weigh less. So you've got more like human cell mass than you have bacterial cell mass, but you've got more number human cells, which is why I put number in the question. It's bacterial cells. So just before we total up all the answers and find out about the winners, Katerina, how do people get involved with the study that you're doing? And what is the study that you're doing? And do we get free peas?
Okay, so the study I'm doing at the moment, it's called it's called iPrevent. So it's completely different to peas. It's my postdoc now. It's another project I'm working on at the moment. So what we're trying to do is very simple. We ask people to consume a dietary supplement for 1 year every day. It's just 10 grams of a powder. So we are trying to understand if this kind of supplement, which is fiber, as I said earlier, can help them, prevent them from putting more weight. So the science says that every year we put from 30 onwards, every year we put from 0.8 to 1.5 kilograms. And we end up like at 40 with an accumulation of 10 kilos that we don't know where they came from and we don't know what to do with them. And because we ate, our metabolism slows down and we cannot lose them that easily. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to test if this dietary supplement can help people, prevent them from putting on extra weight. And there are quite a lot of mechanisms this is happening. I'm not going to go into details, but we look for people, young adults, 20 to 40 years old, that they are slightly overweight. They have a BMI, body mass index, of 25 to 30. So if anyone is interested, I think there is a link somewhere.
There will be in the YouTube chat. It will appear in a second.
It's a very important study, and it's not a commercial study. It's funded by the NIHR, the National Institute of Health Research.
That's part of the NHS, isn't it? The NIHR.
Yeah, we run the study at Imperial College in the under the NHS Trust.
And how do we take the supplement? You know, if the 10 grams of fiber, is it a giant pill? How do we,
No, it's not a giant pill. It comes into sachets. So you take these 10 grams of this powder and you can mix it with your food. You can either, mix it with cold or warm like drinks, or even you can sprinkling it into your food.
Can I mix it into a glass of my cheap bourbon that I've got here?
I think that will be an amazing combination because the fiber will, the fiber and the alcohol will work great.
Yeah, thick whiskey, thick ski. That's how I'm going to market it. The new high fiber whiskey for 30-somethings worried about putting on weight, but still looking to party hard. Why not try thick ski? Right, we're going to find out who's won. This is very exciting. Thank you, Katerina. If you could stay with us for the announcements. Now, I want to know, first of all, I want to see the bottom scores. I want to see the people who are living my kind of life. So Katerina's here because she's super clever and brilliant and an expert, and I'm proper thick. So let's go and find out, first of all, the bottom scores. Where are the bottom scores? Oh, some people got nothing. That's really Little Piggies with 16. Well done, Little Piggies. You had a great name. You're living wonderful lives. Dorota, Monkey Pig, you both also had 16. Congratulations. And Birthday Boy. Also, well done, Monkey Pig and Little Piggies, for having potential P puns in your name. That's always lovely to see. Now, let's go scrolling upwards. We've got a lot of teams today. Look at this. Look at this. Peas Pottage in 25. 21 points. That's pretty good. Are those the winners, or do we go higher up? Because I can't look at all these teams. This is amazing. So many teams here. I'm having to lean very near my screen. Pint. Oh, can't even read that one. The SJs, I like that. That's my initials, the SJs. The Quizzicists. Wow. It's probably a bit. Bye, sushi, bye. No, that's, come on, give me the lot. Brie Musketeers, you could have been the P Musketeers. We would have given you an extra point for that. Welsh Peakers. Do you, the Welsh Speakers, speak Welsh? That's incredible. Right at the top. The Wandering Windmills. Equal. They got a 3-way tie at the top. In a normal pub quiz, this would have a tiebreaker, but I've got no way talking to you, so we can't find out. So we got Fluffy Pumpkin, the Welsh Peakers, and the Wandering Windmills all at the top with 26. 26 is a stonking score. They got a full 8 in round 3, which means they got the entropy question. Congratulations to all of them. They didn't do very well in the quickfire round, Fluffy Pumpkin, but they were nailing it the rest of the day through. So incredible work. We've got 3 in equal first, 3 in equal fourth, and then 2 in equal 1, 2, 3, 7th. Great performance by everybody. If you didn't win, don't worry. There's no prizes. We won't judge you. If you don't know anything, you could be a freelance stand-up comedian who hosts quizzes for Imperial Lates from his shed for a living. I wanted to end with a couple of things. Number one, can we all in our houses give a massive round of applause behind the scenes to the technical team who've made all of this happen? And look, they did a spreadsheet and everything. That costs money. So let's have a round of applause for our wonderful technical team. They've been absolutely marvelous. Also, I wanted to just applaud Katerina, who has been thrown into this maelstrom of nonsense and has had to put up with me, not just in this, but in 2 rehearsals as well. So let's have a round of applause wherever we are for Katerina. Do sign up for Katerina's study or any studies about being healthier. And the final thing I wanted to say was we're back in February. There isn't an Imperial Lates online in January because we're going to be so hungover from Christmas that we need to take some time off. But we will be back in February. You might even get Maeve back, the incredible Maeve O'Sullivan. Please don't send her so many Valentine's gifts that in February she can't get to the screen in order to do the quiz. That would only compound the whole Advent calendar problem. For other wonderful Imperial events, go and check out imperial.ac.uk and let me have a look if there's anything else that I need to read. There's a cheesecake cook-along on Saturday. I didn't think cheesecake was cooked. That's exciting. Oh, New York style, like cooked cheesecake. I'm in. I mean, I'm not because it's Saturday and I'm on childcare, but the rest of us should be in. You'll see a link pop up in the YouTube chat, and that's where you can review tonight's quiz. Too many P puns? Too few P puns? Let us know in our P valuation.
Let it be.
Oh my God, there's so many Lennon and McCartney songs we could have done, Katerina. I read every list of everything they ever wrote to find all the peepons. There's so many though that I even if we'd done a thing where I like gave you a point for each one, some people there was about 30. So that's it. Thank you to everybody. It says here in the script that I'm supposed to call Katerina lovely, but that sounds inappropriate. So I'm going to say genius instead. Thank you to the genius science expert, Katerina, for being with us today. I've been Steve Cross. If you've enjoyed me and you don't want less peace, go to scienceshow.org to find all of the other Christmas quizzes and shows that I'm doing. Come back. See you at Imperial Lates soon. Have a very Merry Christmas. Everybody look after yourselves. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a pandemic on and we've all got to be nice. Bye-bye.